Welcome everybody, and I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about our new F-225 Bullitt motor, which is the absolute latest in materials and we feel is a fantastic step forward for us. I'm going to be running through installing the motor in your car when you first get it out of the packaging, getting the clutch put on it, the first few tanks to bed them in, because as you'll have seen from our little video there, they are coming hand matched and then hand lapped as well. So very nice, easy process to run these motors in. We've got some fantastic onboard footage which is going to show the car in motion and what we're looking for when we're tuning the engine. So with that said, let's go. So the motor comes in a nice bag which is handy for storing tools or pipes or plugs or things like that. We've made it as simple as possible, so carb insert's already installed, plug is already installed, and all the bungs are on the engine. Also, the exhaust gasket is already on there, so it is literally a case of getting your clutch on the engine and putting it in the car. So the motor is now all installed. The final thing we need to do is just check our endpoints. Okay, so here we can see that we need to add slightly more endpoint in to open up the carb fully. So I've dialed that in on the radio now, and now you can see that's got a perfect opening all the way clear of the hole while still maintaining a nice amount of float. So now it's time for the exciting part and to start the engine for the first time. We recommend that you use our fuel, which is Piranha Racing fuel. Comes in 25%, 16% and 12%, depending on the regulations for your country. It's the finest ingredients, the best quality oils, fully synthetic, and it is designed for this motor. So now we've got the motor started and it's idling nicely. We recommend that you do 2 tanks at idle. If you need to increase the idle speed just slightly, that's absolutely fine to do so to keep the motor running, and make sure that you don't let it run out of fuel while you're doing those 2 tanks. Also make sure that you don't hold it at full speed or anything like that. If you need to have a little bit of revs when you're first starting it for that very first time, that is also fine to do so. They are set nice and safe out of the box, so you won't be doing any damage. So we've done our 2 idle tanks now. We've just filled up the tank for the 3rd time and we're ready to hit the track for some rich laps. So we've now done another 3 tanks here with the factory run-in settings, and as you'll have seen, that's a really good safe setting to start with. We can do all of the jumps here, so we've got good bottom power, good mid power. We're just a little bit rich on the top, which is great news for the engine because it's giving it a nice easy start to life. That's the big advantage of having a hand-matched piston and liner, and then with the hand lapping that we do at the end process on the assembly of the engines, it means that we can get after that race tune nice and quick without spending hours and hours running the engine in. So we're now ready to give it that final little bit of a tune, which we're going to show you some onboard footage for, and then hopefully go and win some races. Okay, so now we're going to start with the top needle, as I can see that we need to have that a little bit leaner than it is, and I'm going to work in 5-degree increments. And I'm just going to go just a little bit more. And now we're ready to hit the track and verify that tune. So as you guys have seen, we've now leaned the top end about 10 minutes, and that's all we've done so far on the needles, and we're not far away from a race tune. That's how good they are out of the box. I can hear that we can go a little bit more on the top end still, and also there is a little bit of room on the bottom end needle as well, which is what we're going to do next. Now when we do lean the bottom needle, always be mindful that sometimes you will need to lower your idle as well, because it will raise your idle up too. So now we're back in the pits, and I was very happy with that last tune where we leaned the bottom end. The motor's now ready for its first race. A couple of things I'd like to note. One is pop a new glow plug in. I think it's good practice to put one of those in after you've done your run-in process. And the second is to pair it to our beta pipe, which is fantastic with this motor. It's tuned for the characteristics of it. It's a fantastic price, and it's our recommended pipe. We've tried really hard with the F-225 to take some of the complications of nitro racing out of the way, from the hand matched piston and liner to the hand lapping to make the running process very easy, to the factory settings as well. As we've seen, it is literally, we can take it out of the box, pop it in the car, we've tuned the motor 10 minutes on the top, 5 minutes on the bottom, and we're ready to go and race it. So we hope you're going to enjoy that. You're going to be hitting the track faster than you ever have before, you're going to be getting runtime that you've never seen, and you'll get the full support of Nemo and Nemo Raceway. With that said, if you want to come down to the track at any time and come and have myself or one of the guys tune the engine, you're absolutely welcome to do so. It would be our pleasure to make sure that you get the absolute maximum enjoyment out of the product. With all of that said, it's time for me to go, and I'm going to see you trackside very soon.